Before we start and dive in with the guys, perhaps we'd like to ask Brenda to conduct the first feedback poll. There's a few of these conducted throughout the session today. So Brenda, over to you.
Okay, thank you, JB. So first one is going to be an easy one. And here we're asking, do your partners manage SaaS renewals on your behalf? So obviously just yes or no. And I'm just going to give that another couple of seconds. Votes are coming in. So just while they're coming in, I will just reiterate that if you have any questions at any time for any of the panel, please just type them into the question box and we will get to them a little later on. It's a great opportunity to hear from some great people. Okay, oh, they're still coming in, so we'll give that another second. Okay, perfect. I'm going to close that off now and hand it back to you, JB.
Thank you very much. So topic number one, let's pull that up. Why SaaS Renewals Revenue is the lifeblood of business for both vendors and partners. So SaaS solutions by their very nature are about securing recurring revenue at the lowest cost of sale for both the vendor and the partner. Edmund, would you like to start us off with your thoughts?
Yeah, so good question. So I think monthly recurring revenue, I think we all understand that that's really the power of the SaaS business. You know, we need to come to a realization that really everything as a service is the direction that we're moving to. And customers need to see the value of that service. And they want to know that we can deliver on meeting their business outcomes. And really, that's what makes the renewal revenue drives growth, and we have predictable revenue streams, right? So, you know, we've lived in a world of on-premise where you do one sale and you either get a new sale or you may not. And with the SaaS model, you sell contracts and you have predictable income. So if you do a sale, it's spread out over the term of that contract. So if you have 1 year contract, then you have 1/12. I think everyone's aware of that. So over time, you develop a revenue stream, so it becomes very predictable. And from a financial perspective, then you have the ability to have better planning, and then you can drive better business strategies. And it's also you have no other KPI that's more accurate that can help you develop whether the health of your business, and you can also gain whether you're gaining momentum or not. And some of the things that you can do as a partner is really understand, there's several things you can do in this area from the best practices. First of all, you need to know your customers a lot better than before. And this is all driven by data. And data is really gold. You need to understand their adoption rate, whether the licenses are activated. You need to understand usage, how often they're using your product, engagement of your product, and you need to share that information through the partner, through the vendor, everyone in your company, sales, marketing, support, because everyone who touches that customer is creating stickiness, and that's where the customer sees the value. And if you drop the ball somewhere along the line, they're going to stick with you regardless of the situation. So that's number one. Second, you need to understand your customer's journey, and that's either through the trial period, the onboarding, expansion, and renewal. Historically with on-prem, companies have been very good about landing their customers at the very beginning, and then they come back for the renewal. But if you're understanding their journey, we need, in a SaaS world, you need to be able to land, adopt, expand, and then renew. And it's a mindset that we need to change. And that's where the customer sees value. And then the third point is in this SaaS world, the messaging needs to be personalized. And that's where looking at the customer and listening to the customer of what their business outcomes are. We just can't have vanilla messaging. We need to really listen and understand what those business outcomes and what value our product and services can bring to them. And I think that's real important. And then we need to automate. We're not going to scale. The partners aren't going to scale unless we automate. And there's a lot of digital customer experience, or DCX, that we can leverage out there. There's a lot of good customers. Here at Extreme, we've actually automated our long tail renewals to make it easier for our partners and our end customers to go after the smaller ones, because we were leaving millions of dollars on the plate And then the last thing I say is the vendors and the partners, we need to partner together to understand our roles, where we play when we reach out to our customers.
Thank you, Edmund. That was very comprehensive and certainly insightful. I've made a bunch of notes about some of those key words that you raised, which perhaps we'll talk about later on in the conversation. Stuart, would you like to follow on, please?
Yeah, sure. As well as obviously agreeing with a lot of what Edmund has said there, the other thing I'd like to add in terms of revenue being the lifeblood of the business, I would say that all renewals fund the support and development of the product. And without continual product development and world-class support, your chances of selling more become very slim. In addition to these elements making the offering more appealing, a high renewal rate on its own is a great indicator to prospective new business that you're offering something that customers like and want to stay with. So if you add on to that the fact that most growth comes from the existing customer base, and high renewals revenue will equal high adoption, and the greater likelihood is that they will expand further. Altogether, that puts the renewals really at the center of the business, and the main driver for referrals, new sales, upsells, cross sales, and as I said before, new business.
Thank you, Stuart. Maciej, what would you like to add?
Sure. Both gentlemen obviously hit pretty much all of the points. However, I would like to reiterate that life cycle management of a customer has become more important than ever before. There are emerging technologies coming up left, right, and center. And guess what's going on? They're fighting for the same business where you might be as an incumbent solution already. And not only are they going direct to those customers that might be customers of yours already, but also they're trying to partner potentially with the same partners that are within your network if you don't have exclusivity partners. And on the other hand, you have the customer who is constantly reevaluating the solution that they have in today. So, and having those options that are coming up or they heard of either from a different partner or from the same partner, they are constantly reevaluating their options. So it is very important to stay on top of that life cycle with your customers day in and day out, driving adoption, adding additional services or products in there just to make yourself not only sticky, but keep solving those key bottlenecks that your customers might have in terms of their business. If you stop doing that, if you don't touch base on a regular basis with your customers, they are gonna tend to look at other options. So that life cycle management when it comes to renewals, I think that's very important these days.
Thanks, Maciej. So, you know, the guys have raised some key points, and, you know, I've just grabbed some that reflects upon those key points regarding this first question. We talked about stickiness and the fact that, you know, it really does drive that. There was about the acquisition of data points as being a key message there. Engagement management was a strong message that all three of the guys raised. As Edmund pointed out, you know, being there with the partner to actually drive the business outcomes, be a stakeholder in their business outcomes is key to making sure that you have that relationship. And to Maciej's point, that keeps you relevant. So keeping relevant, driving those outcomes, showing, as Stuart said, that your performance in this area is a business indicator. When you put those all together, I think lifeblood is absolutely a vital term in terms of where renewals are going for vendors and partners in this business.